and about a 5-minute stretch in the third period of Game 3 where the Six Nations Rivermen again took a 4-goal run and rode that to the 12-8 victory. Notable scratches for both teams tonight. Oakville Titans without Mason Noble, Braden Wallace, Spencer Pike, Chris Young, and Matthew Van Galen. So you're missing a couple on the offensive side, a couple key players there on the transition. Notable scratches for Six Nations Rivermen: Jake Bomberry out, John Williams out, Hannah Brandt not playing, and Joe Miracle Jr. as we get going here with the opening draw. And Patrick Corbett taking the draw in place of Chris Young there for the Oakville Titans, and the Rivermen gain possession. Stu Martin bringing it, loses the ball. Gage Board picks it up, drops it back. And Oakville will have their first chance. Starting goaltenders for tonight: Craig Wendy for the Oakville Titans. No surprise there, and no surprise as we have Warren Hill in that for the Six Nations Rivermen. And we have another turnover there. And Six Nations will have a chance to bring it up. I'm sure these free shifts are going to it's going to help get the blood flowing, as there's a quick turnaround from last night. We got an afternoon matinee here in Oakville. 3 p.m. start after a late night game down in ILA. And we get our first shot on Craig Wendy there. He makes a save. Loose ball in the corner. A scrum going on. And Oakville picks it up. And they'll get their second offensive opportunity here. So sure, a little bit of a rub down with some A5-3-5. And the foam rollers were getting a bit of a workout in the opening warm-ups, but once this whistle starts, these teams are going to give us a battle, and Warren Hill makes his first save of the game. Riverman bringing it up. Wayne Hill battling with the ball down in the corner. Picks up his rebound. Up top again. A little bit of a screenshot. Nice save by Wendy as he'll look for the fast break, but it's not there, and he'll just dump it off into the corner as they will bring it up. As Oakville Titans really run an excellent transition game here with Craig Wendy being able to fire that ball up the floor, but we'll see what happens here. As Eddie Renault gets pushed down to the ground and gets a turnover picked up by the Rivermen. Brooker Moore with the ball, drops it down low on the right side. Adam Bomberry with it, back up top to Brooker Moore, and he takes a shot from outside, picked up by Wendy, and there's a fast break. He finds Alec Tamas, and Alec Tamas turnover on the far side, and that's what we're looking for as they're trying to stretch that floor. A nice behind the back shot there by Sherman Williams. As the Rivermen pick up their rebound, as they reset, Williams goes off for an offensive player. Drops it back up top. Tries to push it through, knocked down, but the Rivermen pick it up. Shot clock winding down. We got a loose ball, but it's out in front. Oh, it just misses the net. And we got a shot clock violation on the Rivermen as Oakville picks it up. Sammy Postma with the ball. It's up top to Maddie Lee. Back to Postma. Looking for some help. Swings it up top. Looking. Drops it across to Curtis Woodland. Justin Scott on that. Curtis Woodland down low. Now Curtis Woodland has the ball. Looks for a seal up top. Just misses Patrick Corbett down low. Corbett picks up the ball. Up top to Maddie Lee. Maddie Lee fires it, but Warren Hill's there with the big paddle and knocks it down and corrals his rebound. Rivermen bring it up over center. Swings it up top. Wayne Hill tries to find Ian Martin down in the corner. Misses the mark. Loose ball in the corner. Oakville battling for it, and they pick it up. And they start pushing it up the floor. Got numbers 3-on-2. Tries to draw the man over. He takes a shot and he scores! Jake Cook on the transition. Interesting draw there as referee John Sutcliffe calls trapping there with holding by Corbett. Gives the ball to Six Nations. John Sutcliffe partnered with Roger Nurse down in the corner and Josh Hiltz as the referee partners, and they've done an excellent job in the games they've done, and as well as the other partners that have come up and done the games in this series. Oakville pushing the ball. Curtis Woodland gets some feedback from Cree Blakely, misses the net. Blakely picks it up. Still 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Lots of time for an offensive set here. Drops it down to Woodland, up to Sammy Postma, drops it back down. Cree Blakely, over to Woody, back to Cree Blakely, and he takes a shot, and a little bit of a curveball there, and Warren Hill gets a piece of it. And the Rivermen corral the rebound and bring it up. Wayne Hill with the ball. Up top on the far side. He rolls and he takes a big shot and he finds a corner and evens this game up. A blistering shot from the outside. Just waits for Wendy to take that step to the right and goes back and finds the top right-hand corner. Ties this game up. He's got Stephen Lee taking the draw this time against Ashton Jacobs. Same result. Rivermen with the ball. Johnny Paulus there with the ball. Johnny Paulus making his presence known in Game 3 with 6 assists. Still yet to find the back of the net, although he has struck iron a few times. And we have our first penalty here. Zed Williams with a rough. He's going into the box for 2 or less. And the Oakville Titans will get their chance with the man-up advantage. Curtis Woodland will take the top of the power play. Cree Blakely down in the left crease with Matty Lee up in the left shooter's position. He has the ball now. Back over to Woodland. Drops over to Eddie Renault. Looks like Justin Scott down at the right crease. Matty Lee up to Woodman. Over to Eddie Renault, and they got some firepower there as Renault misses the net. And that'll be Rivermen ball as they will bring it over and try and kill some time off this penalty and maybe get a late second shot on net and battle for the rebound. Wayne Van Every with the ball. Tries to drop it down low. Nice play there. Riley Johnson back up to Van Every, and they just drop it down low, and they do their job and burn the 30 seconds off. And now Oakville brings it back up top. Cree Blakely with the ball on the left-hand side. Up to Curtis Woodland. Matty Lee. Down to Scott. Woodland looking for the shot. No lane there. Eddie Renault can't find the handle on it. Scott picks it up at the crease, but he loses the handle on it. And the Rivermen pick it back up. And they're getting Matty Lee's putting a little pressure on there. What a nice play by Bomberry to flip it up to Race Vise. There's Vise. Drops over the left, and he goes off for the change. 10 seconds left here in their shot clock, and they're being triple teamed down in the corner as Oakville tries to burn off the clock. And we got here, looks like Roger Nurse is calling an interference on Oakville. And it's going to be Six Nations picking it up with 21 seconds left on the penalty. They'll look to kill off the rest of this penalty. Ball up top to Johnny Paulus. Swings it over to Gates Abram, who finally got on the score sheet in the goals category yesterday. He led the team, was a big part of their offense in the regular season. Got a hat trick last night to spark their offense as they just let these seconds wind down as they're all even strength with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. They'll look for a cutter, but they miss their mark, and Wendy corrals a rebound, and he's looking to dish it off. Nothing there on the fast break. Sammy Postma goes back and picks it up. Brings it up over half to Maddie Lee. Maddie Lee comes down, tries to set a seal off for Sam Postma. He swings it across. And Scott drives to the net. But crease violation there as Warren Hill covers the far side of the crease and makes a save nonetheless. Oh, nice drive to the net. It looks like we got a holding penalty going to the Oakville Titans on that drive to the net by Brooker Muir. As Warren Hill goes to the net, we got 6 on 5. As over to Warren Hill, and he just missed, or Wayne Hill, sorry, and he misses the net. Like Brett Albicus getting the call on the hold, I believe. Nonetheless, we got a 5 on 4 here for the Rivermen. For Johnny Powlis to quarterback this in the right shirt as he cuts into the middle. Pops back out to set a seal. Nice cross crease pass there, but Wendy with his excellent anticipation finds it in a fast break there up to Gageboard. Gageboard all alone. And he gets a short-handed marker there. Well played as they give the home Oakville Titans here a 2-1 lead in this Game 4 elimination match of the Ontario Series Lacrosse Finals. Winner will represent Ontario in the President's Cup in Ganawakwe, south of Montreal, at the tail end of the month into early September. Won by the St. Albert Miners the last couple of years. Oakville Titans looking to repeat as Ontario champs as they try and battle their way back. It's do or die here, this game and Game 5 if they make it through this, which will go Tuesday night. They got a 2-1 lead here halfway through the first. Renault pushes it up, but they get caught with too many men offensively. Turn the ball over. We got numbers. 3 on 2. Late trailer from the bench. Great effort, but he hits the post, but they get a reset. So a full offensive set here with still 40 seconds left in the power play. Johnny Powlis with the ball up top. Looking for his 5th offensive player there on the offensive set. Nice cross crease there, but Wendy over there to shut the door. Rebound by the Rivermen as bounce shot there. Powlis right in Wendy's chest, and Wendy fires it down to Tamas. Tamas just out of his reach, slows it down on the bounce, but they will look to kill off the rest of this penalty and have about an 8-second difference in the shot clock themselves to try and get a shot on net. Cree Blakely drives it down low, driving to the net. Down low looking for the rebound, but Wenster Green's there to corral the rebound. Wayne Hill with the ball. Drops down to Brooker Muir. Swings it back up to Hill. Hill using his big frame, rolls off the defender. Looking for some help. Swings it over to Zed Williams. Zed Williams with a pick and roll, drives it in. And Ian Martin denied there by Craig Wendy. Curtis Woodland pulls it out. Just misses Maddie Lee with Sammy Postma there to back him up. Pushes it up to Maddie Lee. Maddie Lee looking for a seal. Swings it across to Woodland. Woody looking for the big shot. Oh, sorry, Justin Scott. Looking for the big shot. Misses the marker. Picked up by the Rivermen as they make a wholesale change here. Pace is picked up over the last 5 minutes here. First few shifts were definitely feeling each other out, but Looks like both teams have their legs. Oh, and we've got Greg Longboat there. Thought he had that timed up with that hit. Oakville Titans will get their second chance here on the power play. Woodland with the ball over to Renault. Down to Scott. They move it around, try and get some rotation on the defense. Matty Lee with the big shot. Almost driving in for his rebound, almost picks it up. But Adam Bomberry there to pick it up. Matty Lee being tenacious, and he causes a turnover for the Oakville Titans as Scott up to Cree Blakely as they push it. But think better of it as they pull it out and get set on the offense. Great effort by Matty Lee to get that ball back. And Woodland with the fire. And that's off the post. And that'll be Oakville ball again. Curtis Woodland with that big shot up top. Over to Renault. Woodland again. Down to Scott. Misses the mark, but Scout corrals the loose ball. Over to Woodland. Matty Lee trying to get some movement through. Drives it through the middle. Blakely back up to Renault. Renault's got a howitzer. He misses the mark. And Scott will run all the way back. And Wendy will just fire it back down into the corner and make the Rivermen start from their end. As they will have a full 30 with about 50 seconds left in their penalty. Riley Johnson with the ball, looking to make something happen. Killing some time off the penalty. And Zed Williams with that signature quick release off the post. And the Oakville Titans corral the ball. Cree Blakely brings it up over half. They'll have 15 seconds left on their power play. Woodland to Matty Lee. Down to Scott. Over to Woodland. To Blakely. Nice pass as Renault cuts into the middle. And Blakely hits him right in the stick, and he puts it behind Warren Hill, who's, as Oakville getting one of their runs. And these series have been, as they often are with Oakville, a game of runs. As they've got two unanswered here. Give themselves a 2-goal lead. Brooker Muir with the ball. Looking for some help. Swings over Johnny Powlis. Powlis looking for the shot. Rolls up top. Quick release there, but Wendy makes the save. And Oakville picks it up. As Sammy Postma brings the ball up over center. Up to Matty Lee to Woodland. Looks like this offensive set's going to have their work cut out for them. Seen a lot of these same five guys out most of this first period. Saying Van Galen out, Spencer Pike out, two big names on the offensive side of the ball. But being a team effort here with a shorthanded marker and a transition marker as well as a power play goal. As we mentioned, giving the Oakville Titans a 3-1 lead. No battle out in front. Wendy there to make the save on the spin around shot. But the Rivermen really seem to be controlling the time of possession here in the first period, but only one goal to show for it. Shot outside there by Race Vise as he'll try and corral the loose ball with miscommunication there with Warren Hill and Vise. They get the ball down in Oakville territory anyway, but Oakville bringing the ball up. Blakely over to Woodland. Down to Scott, who had himself a couple of goals in last night's Game 3 for the Oakville Titans in his first game of the playoffs for the Titans. They're playing 7 regular season games with him. They'll need his production today. And nice cut by Johnny Palace in front, but Craig Wendy there making the save, and the Oakville Titans corralling the rebound. McMahon corrals it and swings it over as the Titans bring their offensive guys, and Postma with the ball. Top to Scott. Scott misses Renault. Warren Hill corrals it. And Sutcliffe calls it down. It looks like he may have got a little dirt in his eye as he's whistling down. We got a referee's timeout. Especially when you get some guys that seem to be in sync, like Josh Hiltz, John Sutcliffe, and Roger Nurse here. They seem to call the similar types of games, and they do a fine job. But by and large, these two teams have stuck to playing lacrosse, and they've got a lot of talent on both ends of the floor here, and we'd love to see that displayed here as we got some of the best lacrosse players in the world here in the Senior Series, Ontario Series Lacrosse. Patrick Corbett here spelling somebody on the offensive shift with Sammy Postma on the left side. Corbett gets it back, swings it down to Sammy Postma as he tries to create a seal for him. Up to Scott. Big shot outside, corralled easily by Warren Hill. One of my favorite goalies to watch. Big and agile. Very rare combination. Really fun to watch too when he's got to play with the spoon as well too. But Craig Wendy, also a field goalie, and he's very agile in his own right. Corrals that rebound, looks for the fast break, pushes it up. Ben Heidecker with the ball, but takes a look and he sees a wall of three Rivermen. Pulls it out, does his job, and goes to the bench. Cree Blakely with the ball. Over to Matty Lee. Matty Lee pushes down to Eddie Renault. Eddie Renault takes the shot, but that's blocked. Blakely with the ball. Still 5 seconds on the shot clock. Misses Matty Lee. But he picks it up. He's going to the crease, and he'll get a shot off. But Warren Hill there to corral the rebound as he pushes it up. Zach Williams, one of the Williams brothers here. Up to his brother Zed, the offensive threat of the family. Got quite a shot. Enjoyed watching him in the 2012 Ontario Junior B playoffs when he was suited up for the Rebels. And Wendy goes to the bench as Oakville Titans will here play for last shot here in the dying seconds of the first period. Postma with the ball. Down to 7 seconds. They'll be looking for a shot. Up to Woody. Woody off the shoulder of Hill. Corralled by Blakely. He gets a shot off, but it goes wide. And we have, at the end of 20 minutes, a very entertaining tilt between Oakville Titans as they lead 3-1 here in Game 4 of the Ontario Series Lacrosse Championships, as both teams will head to the dressing room. We'll take a 10-minute intermission, and we'll be back with the second period on the JVI Sports Network. Pretty evenly matched first period. Shots on net, about 16-14, giving the edge to the Rivermen. And by and large, probably controlled the play. Time of possession maybe had the edge there as well too, but Oakville Titans having a complete team effort there with a transition goal, a shorthanded goal, and a power play goal, which they will need. All facets of their game here. As we know, the Rivermen are just loaded offensively, and they can get on those 4-goal runs as they've done this series. So we got 40 minutes left to go, and we're underway. Oakville gets possession. Eddie Renault trying to push it through, but that gets blocked. Picked up on the far side by Cree Blakely, and he tries to get the shot off and beat the shot clock, but he was stick checked and the ball went wide. Corralled by the Rivermen. Zed Williams with the ball. His signature field move there, rolls off, finds some open floor, swings it across to the far side. Pushes it up, and Ian Martin there with a shot, saved by Craig Wendy. Ben Heidecker with the ball. Being pressured there by Sherman Williams. They push it off, find Curtis Woodland. Woody with the ball, looks for the cutter. Maddie Lee misses him. Like Sammy Postma there, or Cree Blakely, sorry. Backs him up and able to get the shot off, but Warren Hill there with the save. Rivermen work the ball, swing the ball side to side. Over to Vise. Vise takes a shot off there, but save and rebound by Craig Wendy as he pushes it up. Ryan Johnson with the ball. So he throws it behind the crease and goes off for a change. Eddie Renault, one-on-one, tries to drive it in. Pulls it out. Across to Maddie Lee, to Justin Scott. And we've got illegal cross-check, offensive penalty, and that's going to hurt. As the Oakville Titans will send a guy to the box and give the Rivermen a power play opportunity. So Josh Schultz right there. Looks like Cree Blakely going to the box. A rare offensive penalty. See Josh Schultz pointing, say, hey, you got him right in the back. There's no padding. You're going for two. So here we go with the Rivermen. Had a power play opportunity. Got burned on a shorthanded goal on that play, so they'll be looking to pinch that off if they get the big rebound or if Craig Wendy corrals the ball. They move the ball side by side off of Craig Wendy's shoulder and out of play as they pick up the ball. Johnny Powlis on the far side. Just to push it through, knock down, but the Rivermen pick it up again. Up top to Longboat. Longboat tries to find Powlis, misses the mark. Picked up down in the corner by Wayne Van Every. Van Every with a shot. Can't get his own rebound. As Oakville pushes it up, they had a man off the bench, but well covered by the Rivermen. Gage Board pulls it out wisely as they'll look to burn some time off of this penalty. Finds Justin Scott up top. As here they're looking for a cutter. Finds Matty Lee, and he gets a shot off of Wayne Hill there to corral the rebound. And the Rivermen push it up. But Zach Williams will have to pull it out. Get their offensive players there. Dishes it off to Brother Zed. Wayne Van Every with the ball down low. Up to Powlis. Powlis with the ball. Saved by Wendy. They get a fresh 30. Zed Williams pushes it across. Powlis with the ball now. He looks for the shot down low, but corralled by Wendy. Oh, no back in call there is Roger Nurse saying Six Nations player batted it back into the crease. We're all even, but Six Nations looking to call him. Brooker Muir finds himself all alone in front, and Wendy there with the save. Gage Board is up top, captain of the Oakville Titans. Vise Cree Blakely along the bench side. So they get their offensive players on. Eddie Renault got that big shot from up top, but he gets knocked down as he was trying to pass the ball and corralled by Warren Hill. Some good action going to the here in the second period. Zed Williams with a big shot from outside. They get the fresh 30 on the rebound. Zed Williams trying to roll off. He finds himself in the crease there. And he off the post, open net there. And Vise couldn't find the back of the net. Great effort there by Ryan Johnson as well, too, just to give him enough of a push and knock him off balance. As the Oakville Titans bring the ball back up. Corbett down in the corner. He rolls up. finds Scott. Over to Woody. Woodland cuts in front. Back over. Postma with the ball. And Scott tries to go around the screen, but Sherman Williams blocking off that shooting lane and making a shot clock violation as the Rivermen bring it up. Rivermen working the ball around. By and large, they've been getting their opportunity. Have a 10-shot lead here, but trail 3-1 as Wendy again makes a save as Longboat can't pick it up as he went through the crease. Wisely just blocks it off for help. And the Rivermen get another reset, just trying to wear down this Oakville defense. Nice pick off there. Braden Davis. Grabs that pass. And Eddie Renault. It's a step on his man, but he tries a roller pass back to Postma. Misses the mark. Loose ball picked up. Gates. Oh, a little excuse me shot there by Ashton Jacobs, who picked up that rebound. He's all smiles on that one. Jacobs, I think, trying to roll it off to his offensive partner, but finds the inside of the net and makes this a 7-2 game, or sorry, a 3-2 game here for the still Oakville Titans with the 1-goal lead here. As the Rivermen are really starting to take over the possession here as they had a good 8-shot run as they held possession. And we got another penalty here called by Roger Nurse. This time to the Rivermen. Illegal cross-check there as well. We got John Jimerson going to the box for 2 or less as Curtis Woodland has the ball up top over to Eddie Renault. Justin Scott down at the crease. Maddie Lee. And looks like Sam Postma. Or Cree Blakely, sorry, was down at the crease there. As the Rivermen try their own fast break there, but they miss Winster Green as Craig Wendy corrals it and throws it back up to Curtis Woodland. Maddie Lee, Cree Blakely down at the crease. Blakely with the ball again, up to Woodland. He's looking for a lane. Vise gets his stick in the way. Corralled there by the Rivermen as they pull it up, but he's pinched off. Was Sherman Williams as he'll look for help. As Gates Abrams now uses his big body down behind the net, tries to roll up top, rolls off, finds himself in front of the net. It's at Wendy's feet. Almost kicked it in, but keeps it out. There's Braden Davis to pick it up as he brings it up again. As they'll have about 20 seconds here on their shot clock. Well, the Oakville Titans for at least another offensive set. If they get a rebound, they'll have another 20 seconds as Wayne Hill gets his stick down and wasn't sure if it snuck in behind him, but he kept it out from the line. Keep this a 3-2 score. As a Rivermen trying to kill off the last 15 seconds or so of this penalty, but they get a turnover as Oakville pushes it up. Gage Board looking for somebody off the bench, but thinks better of it. Goes and flips it over to Scott. Renault up top, takes a look at the clock, sees that they're even. Behind the net, up to Sam Postma. Postma with some back checking there, loses his stick. As Brickermuir brings it up, swings it over to Zach Williams, and Williams Gets denied, but Rivermen pick up the ball again as they have the edge. 30 shots to 20 here. Halfway through the second period. They've been peppering Wendy and trying to wear down this Oakville defense. Another shot there. Easily saved by Wendy as he looks to push it up. Finds Scott. Scott with the ball. Over to Maddie Lee. Matt Lee down to the crease to Blakely. Back up to Scott, but no lane there as his shot gets pushed down. He gets pushed all the way back to his defensive zone, and he just flips it in and makes the Rivermen start from their end. Rivermen looking to tie this game up. So far have a transition goal only here in the second period for their efforts to go along with their lone goal in the first period. As Wendy picks it up, pushes it up to Gage board. They connected on a transition goal in the first period. Short-handed marker. Two very evenly matched teams, as were all four teams that made the Ontario Series playoffs this year. Could have just as easily seen the Brooklyn Merchants playing the Owen Sound North Stars here, but these two teams are battling here. Repeat of last year's finals, and the Rivermen tie this game up on a beautiful fast break goal. As we get the draw, Roger Nurse with Jacobs and Stephen Lee taking the draw. As we said, some notables out of the lineup here for the Titans, as there is for the Rivermen, and really neither team missing a beat as they have some very deep roster on both sides, but Chris Young has done a fantastic job on the draws for Oakville Titans over the last couple of years. And didn't hurt him on this one as Oakville gets possession. Sammy Postma, the fancy footwork up top, and cuts to the net, but gets denied by Warren Hill. Nice give and go there with Renault and Postma, but Warren Hill there with the save. And the Rivermen push it up. Vise with the ball. Little one-on-one. Nothing there, but he pulls it out. Over to Longboat. Longboat up to Zed Williams, and he fires one from outside. That Wendy Corrals almost snuck through, but give that save to Wendy's jersey a little bit too, as it slowed it down enough so he could pick up the rebound. What a shot by Zed Williams. Scott down to Renault. Renault looking for the lane. He misses the net. Lee there with the rebound. Shot clock winding down. There's nothing there. Scott kind of gets away with dumping it into the corner after the shot clock winds down, but the ref wants to make that call on this one, and they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt with a warning. Gates Abrams, the ball. Moves the cross to Van Every. Van Every back up to Williams. Williams can't find Riley Johnson, so he loses the ball, and Oakville Titans bring it up. Gage board. Runs it all the way across to the far side. Postma. She's back up top. Renault with the ball now. Over to Postma. Sammy Postma looking for the lane. He's got shot. Oh, but he just misses it. The net. And then Cree blocked. His shot blocked. Brooker Muir looks to take the shot. Big rebound. All the way back. Still 20 seconds left on the shot clock. It was Bomberry. Krausen brings it up. So about 10 seconds on the shot clock there. A little behind the back by Longboat there. Hooked a little bit and into the screen. Gives the ball back to the Titans. Over 5.5 minutes left here in the second period. 3-3 tie as the Rivermen have battled back here in the second period. As the Titans looking to get something going and answer back as that shot goes all the way down. And Braden Davis will just toss it down into Rivermen zone and get reset on defense. Gage board pressuring him up top. And Stu Martin. Stu Martin gets away from him and finds Van Every. Van Every back with the ball up top. Down low to Williams. Williams cuts across and misses a net. Gage board with the lane. He's got the ball. And he fires and beats Wayne Van Every for the second time this game. Gage board restores a lead here for Oakville Titans. 4-3 with about 4.5 minutes left to go in the second period. Rivermen pick up the ball, but they lose a handle on it. Picked up there by Corbett. Corbett still with the ball. Great job on by Corbett there to get that possession away from Six Nations as Oakville tries to keep the pressure on. Cree Blakely, and he scores! You got to give an assist. It's probably not going to show up on the score sheet, but you got to give Patrick Corbett some credit on that one as he battled on that loose ball, stripped the Six Nations player. Well, he didn't really strip him, but he kind of had a fortunate bounce there, but didn't give up on it. And the end result of that turnover was a goal for the Oakville Titans as they got a 5-3 lead here. In a matter of 30 seconds, we had a tie game, turns into a 2-goal lead for Oakville as they just will not quit. And they're going to be looking for more. As they face elimination here in this Game 4. Game 5, should there be one, will be in the ILA on Tuesday, August 13th at 8 p.m. We got lots of action here. Cree Blakely scored that 5th goal. Misses the net. That marker is Six Nations will get the ball back and look to chip away as for the most part they've seen themselves behind. They've worked so hard to tie the game. I want to see that lead disappear. As Craig Wendy has stood on his head here. Shots are 35-24 in favor of the Rivermen. As we've got a turnover that hit the ceiling, picked up by Gage Board. He's got 2 goals here today, both in transition, 1 shorthanded marker in the first period, and a great running shot here to give Oakville the 4-3 lead. Scott with the ball, looking to flip it back, Woodland covered. As it looks like the intensity's being picked up here a little bit by the Rivermen defense, as they are not too happy here by giving up the lead here to Oakville. Look at their chance here, under 2 minutes left. Ian Martin with the ball. Over to Van Every. Van Every with the outside shot, misses the mark. Big rebound. As Longboat picks it up, being pressured by 2 Titans. As they push it through and a little bouncer. I don't know if Johnny Powless got a piece of that or not, but They're just trying to put that ball on nets, and another shot that just kind of handcuffs. Not exactly the way they drew it up, but just goes to show you even a couple seconds on the shot clock. Putting the ball on net with Johnny Powlis in front of the net, whether he got a piece of that or not. Only good things can happen is it is now a 5-4 game, as it looked like the Titans were getting the momentum back. As they'll look here to do something as we approach the last minute of play here in the second period. The Rivermen now with a little jump in their step. They push it up to Vise. Vise back to Muir. Over to Van Every. Van Every drops it down. And he swings it back to Zed Williams with a big shot, but Wendy's there to corral it. As we'll have about a 10-second difference between this shot clock and the end of the period, so we'll see if we get a timeout here after this possession here by one of the teams here, as Postma drops it down low, and Scott there with the ball to Renault. Renault look for a shot from up top as he does a little twister, but Hill corrals that, and so we got 11 seconds left on the clock, and Warren Hill corrals that rebound. Got Abrams, a big body down at the crease. I bet you he'll find himself in front of the net eventually. But the Rivermen drop it down, 6 seconds left here. Abrams with the ball, looks for a cutter in front. Shot clock winding down as the game shot clock, and they missed the net there. Just could not connect there. Was Van Every and Abrams, as a very entertaining second period sees the lead for the Oakville narrow down to 1. 5-4 game for the Oakville Titans here as they face elimination here in Game 4. And we'll be back for the third period. It'll prove to be a dandy, I am sure, here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center here on JVI Sports Network. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. The Six Nations Rivermen find themselves down 5-4 to the Oakville Titans, who are facing elimination here in Game 4 as the Rivermen lead the series 2-1. And we're off, and Brooker Muir corrals the ball for Six Nations Rivermen as they will get the first possession here to start the third period at the Toronto Rock Athletic Complex here in Oakville, Ontario. Wayne Van Every rolls off his defender, tries to flip it back to Powlis. Gage Board picks it up. He's got 2 goals here today. And nice transition as he flips over to Alec Tamas, and they score. And gives Oakville a 2-goal lead. Not the way the Rivermen wanted to start it off here. As we see the announcement there is Tamas from Board. And that's why Gage Board wears a C on his sweater. He's been leading this team as they're shy a few regulars in their lineup. Here are the Titans as Craig Wendy corrals that as he looks and drops it right down the stovepipe there to the Oakville Titans player Sawyer Howell. But he had to pull it out, and Oakville has their offensive guys here. Sammy Postma up top, over to Eddie Renault. Eddie Renault back to Cree Blakely, and he beats Warren Hill on the short side there as Cree Blakely gets his second goal of the game. And Jacobs just misses corralling his own face-off there as it pops out, and Alec Tamas got the opening goal here of the third period, corrals that. And Oakville is taking the momentum here. The start of the third, Matty Lee with a big drive, but gets blocked there, and he creates a turnover with a big hit on Zach Williams. Maddie Lee's done that a couple times this game. Some great forechecking. Cree Blakely, 2 goals himself here this game. To Maddie Lee. Finds Scott into the net. And they connect and put that behind. Warren Hill, there's that. Oh, Maddie Lee and Eddie Renault getting the apples on that. Nice goal by Justin Scott. Big outside shot there as Wendy steers aside. As the Rivermen create a turnover there themselves. Johnny Palace with the ball. He's in front, but he's swarmed by 3 Oakville Titans players. But they get the shot off anyways. Johnny Palace there with the ball, and Wendy makes that save. I was going to say there's got to be a little bit more urgency here on the Rivermen if they want to close this gap here. Maddie Lee. Apple to show for his efforts and a couple turnovers that he's created. Cree Blakely looks for the shot, but it gets blocked inside. Titans just roll the ball into the corner there. Nothing doing offensively. Wenster Green with the ball. Riley Johnson. Johnson a little one-on-one. Finds some open floor. Gets a little help from Van Every. And he tries to go low. But Wendy's there to squeeze the ball between his feet. Quick Sammy Postma. Brings the ball over center. Back to Blakely. Back over to Postma. They try to get set up. Swings it up top. Woodman being pushed far out. Postma finds a lane. He's going to the net, but he gets stick checked there by Zach Williams. As Postma was getting ready to get the ball on net. And Williams flips it back to Hill. Hill down to Zed Williams, and Zed Williams cashes in with that howitzer from outside as he starts to close the gap. That is key here, as Oakville Titans are going to be looking to keep that from happening here again. There's the Rivermen, Van Every. To the cross. Lots of firepower on both teams here. Van Every, he pushes it back into Zed Williams, and he lets it rip again, and Wendy corrals that. And the rebound, giving his team a chance to take a breath and bring the ball up. Maddie Lee with the ball, driving down the lane. A little stutter step up top. Back up top to Blakely. Trying to give him some help. Blakely with the ball. Over to Scott, but Scott misses the mark. Zach Williams here brings the ball up over for the Rivermen. Over across to Abrams. Abrams trying to beat his man, but he loses the handle on some tenacious defense there by the Oakville Titans. Create a turnover. They flip it up to Postma. Postma looks to feed Corbett in front. They get a reset out of the deal. Full 30 here. As Renault can't connect with Maddie Lee. But Holden Vise has a little bit of problem, and they're fighting for the ball, but the Rivermen do pick it up. There's Zed Williams to give him a hand, but tenacious forecheck, and the Oakville Titans come out with it. As Vise is there trying to get the ball back for the Rivermen. He creates a loose ball. And he pulls out of trouble. As both teams are putting a lot of defensive pressure on in all ends of the floor here. And that Oakville Titan defense is swarming here as Van Every's out in front, but that shot is high off the glass behind the net. Gage board picks up the Lucy at center and gets out of trouble. So he'll flip it off to Cree Blakely. Blakely up top to Lee. Lee over to Scott, who back to Blakely. Blakely up to Woody. And Woodman just flips into the corner as there was nothing there offensively for Oakville Titans on that set. Zach Williams to Johnny Powless. Johnny Powless being pressured and flips it back to Van Every. Every over to the left side. Abrams looks for the shot. Wendy had to be quick on that save. But a full reset. And Abrams finds the back of the net for the Rivermen. Williams and Gates Abrams answering back for the Rivermen here. 8-6, lots of time left. Game 4, Ontario Series Lacrosse Senior B Championships. Winner of this series will represent Ontario in the President's Cup in Ganawage, south of Montreal, at the end of the month, and that is always a great tournament. Oakville looking to get back for some unfinished business from last year. St. Albert Miners, I believe, are going to be there again. They're two-time champions. Rivermen want to get there. They're one game away. But they've got some work cut out for them here in this game, or they might have to do that in Game 5. Warren Hill goes to the bench. We got a delayed penalty here on the Oakville Titans. And Van Every misses the net on that shot. Johnny Powless, the right shooter position. Longboat on top. Powless with the ball over to Longboat. Back to Powless. Swings it across to Abrams. Look at this ball movement here. Oh, just misses Van Every at the crease. Powless picks up the ball off the post. Far side. Wow, what ball movement by the Rivermen. So they get another 30 seconds to work with. Oh, and after all that, off of Abram's stick and out of bounds as Wendy has the ball and pushes it up to Sam Postma as he'll look to get it over the restraining line, and he does, but he's trapped there by a couple of Rivermen as he's battling that ball here on the near boards. Ball drops out. And Matty Lee's in there as well, too. He's tenacious. Looks like we're going to get it over and back. Nope. They waved that off, but the Rivermen pick up the ball anyway. As they'll get 30 seconds here, we'll still about 50 seconds left in the penalty. As they look to get a little settled. Had an unforced turnover on their last possession there as Van Every at the doorstep, and he gets denied, but the Rivermen get a reset out of the deal. They're looking fine. Ian Martin at the crease, and Wendy's there to make the save and corral the rebound. As the Titans can, with this possession, kill off the penalty. Eddie Renault has the ball up top. He's being pressured. Oh, just misses. Scott streaking to the crease. And we're all even. 5-on-5 action here. 9 minutes left to go in the third period. As the Rivermen drive to the net. Oh, puts it behind, but crease call, Johnny Sutcliffe. Making that call as Zed Williams there making that drive to the net. Oh, looks like we're going to get Oakville here with Corbett being wrapped up there by Jacobs. Wendy goes to the net. You got 6 players here. They're going to look to get the shot off. And they do. Renault gets it off before the shot clock expires. But Hill denies. And Ashton Jacobs pleading his case. But to no avail. He's got 8:19 on the clock. Oakville Titans lead 8-6 in this elimination game as they look to extend their lead here with this man-up advantage. Curtis Woodland up top. Matty Lee. And he can shoot, but he misses the net and goes out of bounds. Holden Vise picks up that ball and fires it up to Zed Williams, who's got one of the goals for the Rivermen this period. They certainly wouldn't mind if he cashed in on another, as find themselves shorthanded, but he misses the mark, and that rebound goes all the way back, and they'll be called on the over and back. Minute 25 still left in the penalty, as Oakville will start in their offensive zone with Blakely with the ball at the near boards. Up to Matty Lee, back to Blakely. Over to Woodland. Down to Blakely. At the crease is Scott. Can't find the marker. Woodland goes in, tries to find the rebound. He can't corral it. And Vise, he decides to shoot. Misses the net. As Matty Lee brings the ball up over for Oakville. He still has the ball. No, sorry, Blakely has the ball. Let's try the little hidden ball trick. Back to Lee. Over to Renault. Renault with the big windup, but Warren Hill's there to save the ball. And picked up by Stu Martin as he pushes it up into the offensive zone. Rivermen will be looking to get maybe a shot on net and a rebound so they can kill off the rest of this penalty. But great pressure there by the Oakville Titan defense as they get the ball, and we're going to be 5-on-5. No harm done on that penalty, but the clock is ticking down as we approach the 6 minutes left here in the third period. 8-6 is our score. Game 4, Rivermen lead the series 2-1. Hill with the rebound, and he looks for the fast break up to Wenster Green, and Wenster Green! Oh! Off the post, I believe. And the Titans get that rebound, and they bring it up. Matty Lee being pressured there by Muir. Puts it up top to Blakely. Over to the far side. Scott looks all behind the back. Shot there by Corbett. Denied by Hill. Corralled by the Rivermen. Brooker Muir. Out in front to Powless. Can't find the handle on that. It's got a loose ball picked up by Gageboard. Braden Davis with the ball now. Over to Sammy Postma. Davis goes to the bench. Oakville looking for maybe an insurance goal here. 2 goals is never enough against these Rivermen. But they're clicking the time off the clock as the Rivermen get their chance here. Riley Johnson. Little stutter step there, looking for something. Pulls it out, drops it down to Van Every. Over to the far side. Williams down low. Nice save by Craig Wendy. Every save is huge here. Blakely with the ball, brings it up over half. Over to Corbett. Corbett tries to drive to the net. Lane shut off as he pulls it out and swings it over to the far side. Scott there. Oh, and he handcuffs there Hill as he tries to go far side again. Muir with the ball. Looks for some help. Van Every swings over to the left side. Gates Abrams finds himself in front and he scores! The Rivermen make this a one-goal game with 3:23 left on the clock. Abrams with his second goal of the game, second in a row. Here in the third period, closes the gap. On the 52nd shot of the game, on net by the Rivermen. As they clearly have the edge in that department. The scoreboard here says 52 shots to 33, so the only thing that matters, though, is how many you put behind the goalie. And right now, Oakville's got that edge, 8-7. Stephen Lee and Ashton Jacobs there. Key possession here. As Ben Heidecker just loses the handle on that one, pops it up in the air. And the Riverman, Winster Green, picks it up. And Riley Johnson swings over to Zed Williams, looking for a lane. Over to Ian Martin, and he fires one off. That's a save by Wendy. Howell with the ball, trying to get out of trouble. Over to Scott. Scott, as he's being pressured, has to pull it out. Sammy Postma. Blakely trying to find a lane, but he's pinched off by Vise. Loose ball, Vise in there battling. Lee in there again, and he's battling for the ball, but he's going to get a push on the back. Interference call and gives the ball off out to the Rivermen as they bring the ball up over center. Van Every with the ball here on the near boards. As he drives in to the lane. Nothing there. Swings it over to Longboat. Longboat to Abrams. Tries it behind the back, but that gets blocked. Braden Davis. Smart play by Davis as he just tries to block off the ball and let the 30-second shot clock wind down. As we're inside of 2 minutes here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Complex on JVI Sports Network. We've got another dandy game by these two teams. There's no call there on the interference as the Rivermen wanted. And Scott comes in to try and get the rebound, but the Rivermen pick it up. Hill looking at the net, or at the bench, sorry. But he stays in the net. 5-on-5 here. Stu Montour saying not just yet. Zed Williams, chin strap undone. He'll have to turn it over. Transition, Stephen Lee with the ball brings it over. As the Rivermen start pushing out on him. Oakville's retreating. We're inside of a minute, 48 seconds left on the clock. This is going to come down to the wire. Sammy Postma up top. Still hangs on to it. Double teamed in the corner as he's going to try and get out of trouble, and he fires it into the mesh. 32 seconds on the game clock here. 30 seconds on the shot clock. And the Rivermen call a timeout here. He'll have Wayne Hill with him, as long as Johnny Paulus, Wayne Van Every on the right side, Zed Williams, and Longboat on the left side, and Abram scores and ties it up. A natural hat trick by Abrams here, 3 in a row. With 16.4 seconds on the clock here. What a shot. Game of runs, as we talked about, and the Rivermen here made their run of 4 goals. After Oakville stopped, they're going to have another chance here. And oh, beautiful save by Wendy. And he goes through the crease. 4.6 seconds left on the clock. Oakville timeout. 3 to start it off, and Rivermen coming back. And here we do get, looked like they wanted Lee cutting to the net. A little bit behind them as Adam Bomberry picks it off. So we are heading to overtime, as we will take a short break here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Complex. Hold tight. We got more lacrosse action coming your way. Welcome back, lacrosse fans. We're in overtime here. 4th period of the 4th game of the Ontario Series Lacrosse Championship Series. And what a game it has been. The Rivermen never had the lead this game. Dire straits here in the tail end of the 3rd period. They rattle off 4 straight goals to tie this up. And we got a full 10 minutes action here. This is not sudden victory in the first overtime frame. They play 10 minutes as Craig Wendy makes the first save of overtime there, and a nice scoring opportunity by the Rivermen. Patrick Corbett with the ball. He tries to push it through, but Wenster Green's there to knock it off. The ball down. Sammy Postma picks it up. Shot clock wind on. He battles his way through 3 guys and gets finally tied up by Holden Vise. Oh, mismatch in size there, but gotta love the way Sammy Postma plays. He's giving it every shift. And great hands to boot. Here's Zed Williams. Tries to find Longboat down in the corner. Martin down in the corner, but that ball's knocked down, creates a turnover. McMahon pushes that up to Matt Lee. Matt Lee to Blakely. Lee's had a great effort this game too. A couple nice feeds. Great forecheck. There's a Riverman. Hey, strike first! Zed Williams takes the feed from brother Sherman Williams on that turnover. There's 5 goals shared, bookended by Zed Williams with Gates Abrams getting the natural hat trick in between those. And Six Nations trying to capitalize on that momentum as they come out with this Lucy off the draw. Wayne Van Every with the ball. He's up top. Swing it over to the far side. Up top, Wayne Van Every looking for more. And they score! Riley Johnson, who's been Mr. Everything for the Six Nations Rivermen this series as well, too. Oakville Titans came out and gave themselves a 4-goal lead with 3 straight goals to start open that frame. Looks like we're going to have a possession call here. Entry into the neutral zone before the ball was out of the circle, so it gives the ball to Oakville as they're going to look to get something going here. Blakely's got a couple goals himself. He looks for the lane to the net, and he fires one off the far post. The ball's high in the air, picked up by Zach Williams. He finds Brooker Muir. Dishes it off to Zed Williams. Williams to Van Every. Down low to Warren Hill. Nothing doing there. As Gage Board has had a couple goals for Oakville. He's firing to that. He dishes it off back to Board. Wrong side of the floor. Takes it in behind the net. Swings it up top. Over to Corbett. Corbett, shot clock down to 10. Little stutter step as he's looking for the lane. Cut off there by Green. Up to Scott. Scott fires one outside. Nice shot, but seen all the way by Warren Hill as he steers that aside. And the Rivermen there to pick it up. Just over 6 minutes left. Tell you, when you're the Rivermen, these seconds are hanging like hours. And if you're like the Oakville Titans, the clock is just going too fast. Down by 2, they find themselves here with the Rivermen with 6 straight goals. We're down 8-4. Up 10-8 now. Do not count this Oakville Titan team here. Now with guys like this guy, Curtis Woodland. It's it down to Scott, who's got a couple goals this game as well. Oh, Sammy Postma just can't find the handle on it. As looks like he's tried to drive to the net before he had the ball fully as well too, and that causes a turnover. Zach Williams over to Zed Williams. Swings it over. They cannot connect on the give and go to the net. Eddie Renault. And he fires, and he makes this a 1-goal game. Eddie Renault. His running shot skill as well, too. He's usually one for the big blast from outside, but shows a nice touch on that one. Beats Warren Hill on the far side. Huge goal for the Titans. Ben Heidecker looking to pick off that ball. He's still battling. Nice job by Ben Heidecker to get that loose. He uses his speed to get out of trouble. Corbett with the ball. Up top. Lots of time on the shot clock here. Scott over to Woodland. Woodland looking for a lane. Over to Cree Blakely. He looks to get his 3rd goal of the game. Nice athletic save there by the big man, Warren Hill. Both goalies, outstanding. Not only in this game, not only in this series, but in their careers here in the senior loop. See Six Nations Rivermen get a reset on the shot clock there as they delay the blow in there to make sure the goalie's set. Everything's good. Zed Williams with the ball up top. He runs it down low. Off-ball interference on the far side there as Tamas gets pushed to the ground there by Hill. So that's Oakville Titans ball as we're at about 3 minutes and 35 seconds on that clock here. 1-goal lead by the Rivermen. Up top to Renault. Woodland. His big shot, running shot from outside, misses the mark. Blakely with the ball. As shot clock violation, it looks like. Gives the ball to the Rivermen. Zach Williams for some help. Pushes the ball down low. We got the big shot outside from Riley Johnson. He's got one of the overtime goals here. The 10th. Will it prove to be the game winner? Less than 3 minutes, we'll know. Maddie Lee trying to make something happen. Get away from trouble. Him and Corbett play a little catch. Lee swim move up top, off the post! And Maddie Lee almost tied this game up with a great move. But the goalie's best friend saved that one. All part of the goalie's equipment. Corbett in front, up top to Renault. Oh, Renault okay. The shot blocked. And Woody finds himself with a rebound out front. And Hill makes that save. We got 2 minutes left on the clock here in our first overtime. 10-9 lead by the Rivermen. Rivermen would love an insurance goal here. The Titans want a big stop here and get a chance to tie this game up. And they score! Longboat. Ashton Jacobs wins that draw back to the zone. Adam Bomberry picks it up. They'll look to kill some time off the clock. He's got a minute and a half left on the game clock. Here in the fourth period, first overtime of this series. Wayne Van Every down to the crease, misses his mark. Oakville picks it up. They'll look for the change. Wendy heads to the bench. We're going 6-on-5. Blakely with the ball. Lee. Renault. Back to Lee. Finds a guy in the crease. Woody loses the handle on the ball, and it's off the glass as they pressure, and they get the ball back. Back in front. Scott down low. Saved by Wheeler and Hill. Picked up by Six Nations. Pressure there. Loose ball. Maddie Lee in the mix. As is Corbett picks it up. Interference by Maddie Lee. As tempers flare here a bit. This is going to be Six Nations ball if nothing else comes out of this. Still Six Nations ball as they would have been had possession and then offsetting penalties and the dead ball foul. So Wendy still at the bench. As Muir has the ball and he fires it into the empty net and just about seals the deal. I tell you, these games have come down to runs as Roger Nurse gets the right number of players on the floor, as still a couple guys in the box, and goalie out for Oakville as they do gain possession here. Scott picks up the ball. Over to Woodland, his shot blocked. Vise with a huge save as he gets right in that shooting lane. 15 seconds left. Woodland up to Scott. That lane closed on Scott. To Blakely. Woody scores, but a little bit too late. They put out Six Nations in 2018, but the tides are turned here as the Six Nations Rivermen are your Ontario Series Lacrosse 2019 champions. Let's just let the clock do the camera do the talking here, and we'll come back at the trophy presentation in just a minute. And I would normally pick goalies as player of the game, and I know we don't officially have a player of the game here in this series, and they were both outstanding, definitely. Gates Abrams for the Six Nations with his hat trick. You know, quiet for a lot was a huge thing, and Gage Board stepping up as captain for the Oakville Titans there in the absence of 4 key players out of their lineup. To me, those 2 guys right there made a huge impact in this game at their different points of the game as well, too. So, those 4 gentlemen there, hats off to them. They led their teams. Gauge board going up to Commissioner Joe Hiltz to get the silver medals for the Oakville Titans.
And now can we get the captains of the Six Nations Rivermen to come over and grab the banner and the trophy and ribbon, please.
And the Six Nations Rivermen captains getting the trophy, the banner, and the gold medals. Another great season here in Ontario Series Lacrosse 2019. Looking for the Six Nations Rivermen. They got some unfinished business as they're going to get ready to bring home the President's Cup. We're going to let the camera roll here for a couple more seconds. I'm going to sign out. I'm Mark Schutzkowski. Very honored to call this game here on the JVI Sports Network with Ryan. Thanks for putting up with us. You had a heck of a game here to watch. Enjoy the rest of the lacrosse season. Congratulations to the Six Nations Rivermen. Thanks, Ryan. Safe drive up to Brampton.